Hi,
Hi,
I'm Nick.
I'm Jill, and we're HipStrings.
Welcome to day 7 of the 2025 Base 12 Spinalong. We are now at the beginning of the second half.
Yes.
Right?
It's all downhill from here.
Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. So we are on fresh bobbins, ready to tackle the other. And now I'm going to actually remember. Yes, I have 6 bags left.
Oh, good.
That's what I should have.
Good.
There's not a missing bag.
Good.
So if I roll something and I don't have it,
it's because you've
it's
already
because
spun
I
it?
spun it. Yeah.
Okay. So today is gunmetal, which is another hand-carded bat.
Wait, is it 7?
7.
How did I roll a 7 again?
I don't know.
Because I rolled a 7.
Awesome.
This is not very random.
So, this is 20% merino wool, 10% BFL, 10% Shetland, 10% Gotland, 10% Corriedale. How many different wools could I fit in this bat?
Right?
20% Tussah silk, 10% mulberry silk.
So technically, this is majority silk.
No. It is plurality silk.
Okay.
I
think I'm going to split this into thirds. Oh, and I'm not doing the thing you taught me to do before.
Oh, to figure out which the
End
direction.
to spin, yeah. Your wheel's making weird noises.
It is. What did I forget to do when I put the new bobbin on?
I don't know, but I'm going to take advantage of that and start spinning.
My bobbin was kind of resting towards the back.
Okay. All right. And I didn't get any advantage from that whatsoever. Donna says, happy Thursday spinning, happy Thursday spinning, everyone. And says 10. JM Knitter says, I'm so happy to be spinning with you all. Day was a day.
Yeah.
And Hollis says, hi, Donna, Nick, Jill, and everyone. I learned today that while I do feel better, I'm not quite at the level of taking the kids to a holiday party at an arcade
and playing laser tag?
Playing laser tag level yet. So I'm a little bit tuckered out. I just came back from a work holiday party, which is fantastic. Every year we go to this place called Zone 28, which is a bowling alley / arcade / laser tag / bar / I mean, they've got everything in there. The place was packed.
Yeah.
We had to park in the back.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they have parking in the back.
Right? Neither did I. And I think everybody felt bad for me because people kept on handing us game cards.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's why you have so much left over?
That's why we have so much left over. So we'll have to go back at some point in time.
I stayed home because Gav had a clarinet lesson and I made scones.
Yeah, which, talk about overachiever.
I got to make what I wanted for dinner tonight.
Scones for dinner?
No, I made you helped me make hot German potato salad, which I was the only person who ate any.
I ate some.
You ate some. Chris will eat some. He didn't have the chance.
Gab didn't eat any?
Nope. They had the rest of they had some of your egg drop soup.
Yeah. It's probably even better today. So, what is new for you today? What'd you do in the studio?
I packed orders and I made bats. That's what I do every day, Pinky. No, I've got 8 more bats to make. And then, well, no. I've got 10 more bats, I think, on the books that I have to finish up. And I did make a first, December bat, but the camera I use for product photography is the same one we use for live streaming. So it was not in the right place at the right time. So, December bats might be a little bit of a quick
Short
Christmas
window.
special.
Yeah. Well, you said you'll fix that tomorrow. You'll bring a different camera.
Yeah, I'll bring a different camera in.
Yeah.
But I think first thing for bats next year is I'm gonna, whatever old bats, like signature blend inspired bats that I've made in the past that I still have materials for, I'm gonna make up kits and put those in the shop as carded to order.
Okay.
So there might be some things coming back.
Nice. Now I know you haven't announced your December bat yet, but what was your favorite bat of the year?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I like so many. Hill District turned out really nice.
Yeah.
That was like my when I was kind of worried about, and it turned out really well. Because sometimes translating signature blends to gradient bats it's very different because they were mostly designed to be like blended, and I'm deconstructing the colors and trying to form them as some kind of gradient. And sometimes it works beautifully and it's really easy and it's obvious, and there's other times where it's not obvious.
By the way, Donna says this fiber wants to spin thin. And Jam Knitter says, Jill, will there be any more of day 7 in your shop? I see and feel a sweater spin coming on.
So one of the things for me to do while I take a little bit of a break between, so the shop will be kind of down for a little bit, a little bit after Christmas. So I usually leave it up for like the 26th, maybe a little bit on the 27th, but it's probably going down on the 27th. And then it'll be closed until I finish inventory, as well as take a little bit of a personal break. So it'll reopen in early January. And when I reopen in early January, all of the Base12 bats will be available as made to order, and they will be available as made to order until I run out of materials with which to make them.
Well, yeah, because this bat, for example, requires a lot of silk.
Yes, but also this one requires 2 different fleeces. And like it has Gotland fleece in it, and I don't have a lot of Gotland fleece, and I'm not going to buy Gotland fleece just to keep making it.
So keep an eye on the shop, and
yeah,
you'll have to make an email announcement or something.
Yeah. People are like, oh, I don't want to sign up for mailing lists and get a whole bunch of email. I think I've sent out 4 emails this year.
Yeah.
Which was like, sign up for my Maryland classes. Sign up for Base12. I forget what else. Usually it's, oh, I'm teaching somewhere. And, oh, there's a pre-order you probably don't want to miss.
Well, you can also follow on Instagram. You do tend to post on Instagram regularly. Since this is a visual art, the visual social media tends to work best.
Yep.
I was going to ask something. I forgot what. We could talk about our sweaters.
Yeah. So remember the other night I talked, Nick's sweater was we thought it was a great love.
Yeah.
I am wearing the big love. So this is the sweater that Nick knit for me. It's almost the same pattern, but this is in Targhee worsted. So
it's a little bit more structured.
Yeah, and it's tighter gauge.
It's still squishy.
It's still very squishy and very light.
And comfy. And I am wearing some Chinese manufactured mess.
Yes.
Which I absolutely adore for wearing to holiday parties. It even has, the present is a pocket. So I sometimes put my phone there. I guess if I was really desperate, I could put a beer there. So I was telling you earlier, Jill, we had our holiday party, right?
Yeah.
But, so I decided to wear this when I went to work today. Completely forgot I had a very important meeting with an external company that we were trying to make negotiations with. So here I go on to this important meeting.
Yeah, but are you like neck up? Like, how far down are you showing up on the Zoom?
I mean, from here
Or
up,
from
for
Teams.
sure. There was definite knitted dinosaur to be seen.
But not T-Rex applique?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And I saw Adam when we went to the party, and Adam's my boss, and he made comment on it.
Yeah.
But he thought it was great, not anything bad. It was funny. But I still...
the persona of a creative engineer.
Yeah. I think I need to make better attention to my meetings for the day when I choose my wardrobe. By the way, James Knitter says, I'll be watching. Please have a restful break.
I'm almost tempted. So I have a loom that I've been trying to get dressed for several years.
Yep. For a project for me.
For a project for Nick to weave. And the warp chains are all ready. We started beaming on, I think, last winter.
Yeah.
And then life happened.
Yeah.
And I would really like to finish. So I've almost got the goal of the shop gets to go live again when that loom is ready to weave on.
Nice. I like that goal.
Well, it benefits you.
Yeah, that's why I like the goal.
But then once you finish your project, then I have more like bath sheets to weave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those bath sheets that you wove before. They've finally started getting really fluffy and nice.
Yeah.
Took a while.
It took like 5 years to break them in.
Not 5 years.
I wove those in 2020.
Yeah, but they were broken in maybe 2 years.
Okay.
But still, a couple of years.
But especially if Gab's going to go off to college for a textile program, I kind of want to send them off to school with like hand-woven towels.
Oh my God. I mean, that's decadent, but also like they're going to get destroyed and lost.
I don't know.
Amy, by the way, reminds us, you have a friend you can rent to help with that, getting the loom under tension. And Hollis says, Nick, you always make me smile. I try.
Well, I've got a tension box. I just need Nick to like hold down the brake and help me detangle.
Yep.
Because it's my first time sectional beaming. I'm learning lessons. I think I really have to convince Nick that we need to make room for a spool rack or a warping wheel.
I am happy to make room for that so long as we figure out what we take out, because...
Yes. Well, I've also been trying to organize the basement and clear stuff out so that I can have room for a spool rack.
Yeah.
I think a spool rack should... There's enough room behind the loom. It could live there.
But then you can't access behind the loom.
It moves out, and warping wheel would also be something that moves. But I would have to reorientate the loom to be able to use that stuff. So.
We'll have to start posting diagrams on our YouTube channel.
Hey, at least I haven't been like, Nick, I really, really, really need like a big 45-inch wide countermarch that requires its own like 10 by 10 room.
Well, that's when we pull the trigger on making a craft space in the backyard.
Yes. That's like the kids have left the nest and never come visit us, and their bedroom gets turned into a loom room.
Yeah. That's the other option.
But I don't like that option, so. It was after I figured out that countermarch looms are the best option for weaving with handspun.
So what's a countermarch loom?
So a countermarch loom, when you, like, the looms that we've had have been jack looms or modified jack looms. And jack looms, you have a harness and it goes like up when you press like the treadle, or it goes down.
Okay.
And that forms your shed. So a countermarch is set up that what happens when you, the tie-ups are such that when you like press down on like one harness set, all the other ones go in the opposite direction. They travel too.
Okay.
And so you get a really big shed. But the really important thing is that the tension stays the same on all of your warp threads for every pass.
Okay.
Because you're moving them equally. And so you get to have fine-tune your tension on your warp, which means that you can use more delicate warps.
Okay.
And like hand spun that might
Which is why
break.
it's more appropriate for hand spun. Yeah.
Right.
I remember the first time you tried to use a hand spun warp and you did not enjoy that experience.
Yeah, and so I used to have a shacked loom, which was a jack loom. I now have a Louette David, which is kind of a modified jack loom. It kind of behaves like a countermarch, but not exactly. But it is gentler on the warp than a standard jack loom. And Louette has a compact kind of countermarch loom that's called the Spring, which wouldn't take up an entire bedroom. It would take up like the same amount of room as my David.
Amy, by the way, says, I have one of those, an oxback Ulia Cyrus.
Yeah.
And Amy's giving us a description here. Jack loom, shafts go up to make a shed. Sinking shed looms, shafts go down to make a shed. Countermarch.
Yeah.
Some shafts go up.
David is a sinking
Some
shed
shafts
loom.
go down to make a shed. Nothing stays in neutral position.
Yeah.
JM Knitter says, this may be a dopey question, but what's the reason for combining these 5 wool breeds? Color, compatibility, texture. It's a
Oh, this
beautiful
was
end
all
result
about color.
with the 2 silks. Are so shiny.
So it's called gunmetal. So I was going for something that would be very smooth and sleek and almost a bit of shine. And so that's why there's more long wools in here than usual. That's the Gotland is especially. Gotland is it's a natural dark, like black to like really like gunmetal gray. And it's a long wool, so it has more shine. Same with the BFL. And so it really was about trying to get something that was less crimp, more sleek to go with the whole metallic. And trying to do it in all natural colors for the wools. So all the wools are natural colored, and just the silks are dyed.
So the design mainly came from picking the right color wools.
Yes. Because for me, when I design blends, it's not just about color. It's also about texture, drape, like overall feel.
JM Knitter says, is talking down to themselves. Who uses the word dopey anymore? I'm old as dirt. I use the word dopey all the time, so I must be old as dirt too. I mean, heck, there's a dwarf called that, right? So, and Hollis says, I love Gotland. JM Knitter says, nailed it. So you definitely achieved what you were going for with this bat. I'm almost done with my first third.
Yeah, I'm done with my first half.
What? This happened last time.
Yeah, I'll slow down and like change my hooks for you.
Not sure that's going to help.
I don't know. This is a really nice bat. Drafts really nice.
Yeah. The designer's kind of a genius. You're just in a groove.
Yeah. I actually spun earlier today too. I finished up a buoy sample.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which buoy sample did you work on?
It was Pond, which is the new blue.
I don't think I've seen that one.
You'll have to.
How blue is blue?
It's not super blue. Like it's like a denim blue.
So it's like a deep blue.
Yeah, it's a deep blue.
Nice. That's what I was kind of expecting when you said pond. So I guess the name is appropriate.
Yeah, the colors are peony, barn, straw, evergreen, pond, and wampum. Because they're all supposed to be kind of New England. Because buoy came out of the Maine collection, which was my first collection of signature blends.
That's right.
For when we went back to Maine for our 10th wedding anniversary. 10 years ago.
Yeah. James says, now I need Emily to help me with a special sweater pattern. Gunmetal deserves to be something outstanding. Yeah, this is surprisingly soft. Yeah, so when we did that that first collection, what else was in there? Do you remember all the different
There was Washed Up, which I think you still have a sweater quantity stashed away somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a black with a little bit of green.
Okay.
There's
Porcupine, right?
There was Porcupine Islands, which had returned recently as deciduous was a relative to Porcupine Islands. I'm trying to think what else was in there. There was Cadillac Mountain. Or no, there wasn't Cadillac.
No.
Oh, there was the Rockefeller, which was a luxury blend. A really, really nice luxury blend. One of the nicest ones. It had yak and camel and superfine merino and silk. It was super nice. I have 4 ounces of it stashed, so I'm aware for me. And I don't usually stash signature blends because if I stashed every fiber that I create that I really loved, there'd be no room for people to live in this house.
Excuse me.
There was Lindsay Woolsey.
Okay.
Was in that collection too. So we're up to, I've said
There's
4 or
four,
5
yeah.
now.
There's 6 in the collection.
There's 6 in the collection. So Porcupine, Washed Up, Bowie, Lindsay Woolsey, Rockefeller. That's 5. So what was the last one? I don't know.
What was neat about that one is we with those early kits, we provided photos that we had taken when we were up in
Lobster Pot.
Lobster Pot, that's right. And
No, I think that was the Bowie color.
Was it?
I think it was.
Okay.
I think the first Bowie was Lobster Pot.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But then also, that was the first twist lock I designed.
Yep,
which is a lobster
the lobster
claw.
claw. So there's probably a couple dozen people who have lobster claw twist locks.
Somewhere deep in their stash.
Yep.
And then after that, we did a cocktails collection, right?
Yep.
And there was Pittsburgh.
There's cocktail and there's Pittsburgh and
I think
we
that
got
was
the box
last,
treatment.
I think that was the last box one.
Yeah.
With
And I
photos
mean,
and
I've
everything.
with doing the whole like box release. Cocktails came with a shot glass, which I do have more of those shot glasses.
Do you?
I do. I was going to laser them and bring them to Maryland last year, and I didn't get. I
I think
mean,
we talked about this the last Base 12.
we did, and then life went sideways, and I didn't
Yeah.
get to laser them. So, since life is a little less sideways, maybe we could laser some shot glasses and bring them to Maryland.
Sounds like a plan. Well, you'll bring them to Maryland. It's very low
Yes.
likelihood I'll be able to make it.
Yeah. It's looking like Nick's gonna miss out on another Maryland. Shot face.
Everybody's going to forget what I look like. No more T-Rex spinning.
I'll have to make a bigger mini Nick.
Well, now that we have the new 3D printer.
I have a bigger 3D printer now.
Yeah.
I can make
That
a
was
teeny.
that was not the limit of what for making the
Yes.
the Nick last
But I can
time,
make
no.
a teeny. I can make like a 12-inch action figure of Nick.
Let's see. There's little Nick up there, by the way.
Little Nick came to SSK.
Excuse me.
Since Nick couldn't. And I broke Little Nick a lot. He's held together with a lot of super glue at this point. It was not appropriate to put Little Nick in project bags or pockets.
I'm surprised you could fit him in a pocket. Amy says, "Oh nuts! Well, Team HipStrings will help the booth setup."
Yep. I have an amazing team that helped me last year, and they're all returning for this year.
Except for Gab.
Gab didn't go last year.
Gab didn't go last year.
No. I was
thought
the only
Gab
Duarte.
Oh, okay.
I had all my own adventures with the thunderstorm and the hail and, you know, dental emergencies.
Who had a dental emergency?
I
You
did.
had-
That's
That's right.
It's what led to me losing a tooth this year.
Yeah. Wow, this has been quite the year.
Yes, it has.
So, on the more positive things,
So I'm expecting like snow at Maryland this year with you.
that would be crazy.
I have a poor record of adverse weather events when I go to shows on my own.
Oh, like the well, no, but there was the one time that there was the
this
The
tropical
tornado.
storm. Okay, we have had a tornado, and you were there for that.
yeah.
But there was also the other show I didn't go with you. My last Shenandoah, there was like the hurricane remnants, and it rained all weekend, and I forgot my canopy, and
Yeah.
reasons why Jill doesn't do a ton of shows anymore.
Excuse me, I might have to go and cough somewhere else for a second.
Okay, well, I will take a break if you need to do that.
Yeah.
And be fair.
I'll be right back. Entertain them, Jill.
I will try. I'm going to first hydrate. So. But I'm trying to think. I think I finished up a special custom dye job, which means I started dyeing for the shop again. So, as I said before, if there's anything that you guys want, let me know, because I am very easily persuaded to dye stuff. And I kind of get in a rut into, you know, trying to figure out... Oh! That was not good. My flyer arms were a little bit too close to my water. Nick could carry around little Nick in the T-Rex pocket. I'm sure that would go over well. Pull out Tiny Nick during a meeting. Everybody's being quiet. I guess they're focusing on their fiber today. Laura said that she was... Oh, there's also the SSK Zoom is tonight. Laura said she was going to try to get people to leave early and join our live stream.
That's funny. I guess because she wants to watch the live stream and not have to be with her on Zoom.
I told her to tell everybody that I miss them and to thank them for all their support with the HipStrings along. So if you guys don't know, there's a HipStrings along going on right now that's being hosted by Jillian Marino and her Patreon and the Net Girls, both on their Discord channels. And it's wrapping up at the end of the year. And there are prizes. There are gift cards to the HipStrings shop. So, and it has been absolutely great seeing everybody share their works in progress with HipStrings stuff over the last month.
Have they been sharing it on the
and Jillian
and Jillian's?
Yeah, and Nick Girls.
We need to get some of those people in our Discord.
Yep.
Amy says, I need to revisit what I have in double major for future Strange Brews. Maybe I can convince you to die for the body of a sweater.
Yep. I do need to replenish, like, the black Targi Sport, which can be paired with any of the diffusion braids to make the easy colorwork sweater.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have used the Strange Brew pattern, and you use either double major or diffusion for the top part, the yoke of the sweater, and so you get the speckled gradient for the yoke, and then you just do a solid black for the legs or for the arms and body. People do not have legs in their sweater.
Well, I was about to ask. I mean, that's a
sweaters for centaurs.
That's a thneed.
Yeah.
But they don't do any actual patterning.
There's
in the
no
yoke?
no actual color work.
Oh, interesting.
And it has now become a trend amongst people who work in the HipStrings booth.
Huh.
So there's I know there's at least half a dozen of these sweaters out there.
Well, I love the fit of the Strange Brews, so
yeah,
it works well.
It looks really, really good, and it looks complicated and neat, and it's not.
JM Knitter says, the more I spin day 7, I'm thinking colorwork gray as the main color. Would maraschino Rumpelstiltskin go with? Or some new great color to come yet?
There are some new colors to come yet.
Amy said, I've realized I need a low-thinking knit project, and another sweater would fit the bill. You know, that says a lot about you, Amy, that a sweater is a low-thinking project because...
I mean, it's stockinette.
But you know, I was just talking with another friend today who is being challenged by a shawl and being able to get just a regular triangular shawl, and that's their challenge knit, right?
Just doing increases.
Because well, they're a bit of a beginner, right?
Okay.
So just doing increases and keeping
I
tension and everything.
remember being that way. I remember one of my first projects was a Bactus, which is like this shallow triangle shawl that you just have increases on one side until you get to the midpoint, and then you do decreases on one side. And I remember being all proud of myself for that. So.
GM Knitter says, we do anything for Mr. and Mrs. HipStrings. Thank you. Diane says, I'm drained from my first week back at work. I'd love double major in Jacaranda?
Yeah, Jacaranda. I have, so double major isn't dyed anymore. It's transitioned to diffusion. So the speckled gradient is all in the black, and then there's a semi-solid laid on top. So there is Jacaranda in black in diffusion.
Nice.
Like there's a full rainbow of diffusion colors. And I think they're all listed under a single listing in the shop.
Both Amy and Diane have done 2, presumably, of the sweaters that you're talking about.
Yeah, and Rebecca has done at least 2. And Ashley, one of the Ashleys that's worked in my booth, also has one.
So,
there are at least 7.
Well, the Knitted Bean says, "I'm late, but I'm here. Welcome." Diane says, "My tired brains said that wrong. I meant Targi Sport."
Yes, Targi Sport. Oh,
To
so
go
the
with
Jacaranda. Yes, I
maybe
can make
Double
that
Nature.
happen. I can make that happen. I've been trying to decide semi-solids to dye for Targi Sport because it does make such a good sweater yarn. Because you knit it up at DK, it knits up beautifully at 5.5 stitches to the inch. And I mean, it can get abused and still looks great. Like Gab has a couple Targi Sport vests and hoodies and stuff, and they go through the wash, tumble dry low, and they look, years later the same as when I finished knitting them.
Yeah.
If you want like a workhorse sweater yarn. And it is not like other superwashes. It does not stretch out. It does not drag by the end of the day. It's kind of magic. But that's Superwash Targi. It's one of my faves.
Amy says, "All knit, whether it's stockinette in the round or garter stitch, is my crafty comfort food." What's your crafty comfort food, Jill?
I don't know. I would say I used to be it needed to be stockinette or garter stitch, and I can't do it anymore. And so I'm actually finding a lot of joy lately in some types of ribs, and especially a broken rib. So that you like with a broken rib, every other row is stockinette. And I usually knit in the round. So like it's like, okay, I've got a round of having to pay attention, and then a round of not having to pay attention. And I found that like my wrists were starting to give me, and my thumbs were starting to give me trouble with doing too much of the same stitch all the time.
Okay.
So I need to break it up with a little bit of texture with pearls. But I also hate like stockinette knit flat, so I can't do long stretches of purling. That will also drive me crazy.
Yeah.
So lately it's been rib structures.
Nice.
But not 1x1 rib. But like the sweater I'm knitting for Chris right now is a 2x1 rib. And now I'm knitting, like the sleeves were circular, but it was 2 purls, 1 knit. But that was fine. But now I'm knitting it flat, and so like on one side it's 2 knits and a purl, and on the other side it's 2 purls and a knit, and so it's actually been really enjoyable to knit. And like these sweaters, this is a broken rib of the sweater that I'm knitting or wearing right now, and I remember enjoying that.
Tracy says, "Weaving on my rigid heddle loom is my crafty comfort food. Even with multiple heddles, something about it is relaxing."
Yeah. I mean, really, my crafty comfort food is spinning samples. Like, spin up an ounce of something.
Speaking of which, you should have planned to have that ahead because you so drastically beat me. Again.
Yeah, but I would have had to bring out another wheel and...
No, fair.
Complicated. I'll spin some cotton.
There you go.
There's a spindle back here.
Is that going to be a sample?
No, it's going to be cotton, which will eventually one day be woven. What is going on here?
I'm trying to remember if have you ever wound off any of the cotton that you've
Yeah.
done on your?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the bash sheets I wove, one of them, the warp is all hand spun cotton.
Really? From a spindle?
I think most of it is from spindles. It's
Nice.
a lot of my early spindles. So I wind off onto storage bobbins. They sit around, and at some point I will ply it all up to 2-ply. But I also like weaving with cotton singles. But now my cotton spinning's gotten so thin, I really need to ply it.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous to weave with that.
Yeah.
Again, it looks like you're just making pantomimes on the stream.
When I was filming for the Ply Guild on support spindles, it became this whole deal of trying to make sure that there was good contrast between my fiber and what I was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, JC Boggs does not have a huge fiber stash.
Mm-hmm.
And I had brought a little bit with me, but I was like digging through her tiny little stash, which was like maybe 3 little foot by foot by foot bends.
Yeah. That's sizable.
That's
It's bigger than my fiber stash.
yes. But you aren't the, founder of a spinning magazine.
Yes. I mean, I could be.
You could be.
Is that our next project?
No.
No.
Ply does such a good job of what the community needs. There doesn't need to be an alternative.
There's that new magazine. What was the new magazine that got announced?
Well, there's Weft,
yeah.
which has started publishing.
Yeah.
That's the weaving by, same people. I mean, different editor, but same umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are going to come out with Pearl, which is going to be a knitting magazine. And the lovely Laura Linneman is kind of the brains behind that one.
Nice.
So that one's should be publishing soon. I mean, working on a magazine schedule is always so weird because I work on stuff, it goes in, and then like it shows up in print like a year later. At which point I have often forgotten that I even wrote an article.
I do remember there was one time you were reading through one of the magazines,
Oh.
and you were like, "Wow, this is a really good article. This is really insightful," and you realized it was written by you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried to get a little bit better. But like, the latest issue is Long Draw for Ply, and I absolutely love my article in that issue because it's about how with different types of support spindles, different types of support spindles are better suited for different types of fiber and also for different types of long draw. And so I talk about like all these different variations of long draw on supported spindles, and what it means in terms of speed and twist insertion, and what fiber you would pair with it, and what type of spindle, and go over all the different types of support spindles. It made me really be like, think about, okay, do I spin the same on support spindles on every fiber? And I was like, no, I don't. I spin differently depending on the type of spindle I'm using and the type of fiber I'm spinning. And I'm very picky about, what type of spindle I choose depending on what type of fiber I'm spinning. Because I've had fibers that I don't like spinning them on a Tibetan style. But I tried them on like a Russian style, which I usually don't like spinning on. And I suddenly really liked spinning the fiber, and I really liked spinning on the Russian. I was like, why does this make sense? And I figured it out. And that's in the article. So like yak silk, I love on Russian spindles. It's so much easier to spin. Cashmere silk is much easier to spin on a Russian than any other type of support spindle.
And what remind me what makes a Russian spindle?
Russians are what I call a stick style. So they don't have an obvious whirl. They're just a fancy shaped stick. I'll pull one out because I should have one within arm's reach.
In stereo now. Do I need to move?
I'm looking at what I have within arm's reach.
I should probably move my
hook.
My hook, because I've had some explosions here. My mountain collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the yak silk I was spinning. And I've got, not a Russian. Oh, here's a Russian. This is my very first supported spindle from Spanish Peacock. But this is also a stick, fancy stick spindle.
Oh, wow.
That's a Fong. Or this is like a modified Fong. These are a lot of people will refer to these as goddess because there was a really good spindle maker who made spindles like this and called them goddess spindles because, you know, they got curves. So those are Russian styles or sticks.
Style.
Yeah, a whirlless supported spindle. And then you have things like Tokles, which are disc ones. And then you have cups, which are what people usually refer to as Tibetans. So that's my like classification of support spindles. And they all spin very differently because the physics of them are different.
Well, I like very much your descriptions when you go away from the classical naming, which doesn't describe
names.
Anything about
yeah,
functionality.
Russian versus Tokle versus
style.
Tibetan. So we can talk about whirlless discs and cups.
Yeah.
And there's modifications on that, but
I mean, it's like
it really is how much weight, where is the weight distributed, how far away is it from the shaft. Which is physics. It's angular momentum and
yeah.
acceleration.
All right, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm spinning about the right
Yours looks
gauge. Mine looks what?
Yours looks different than mine. It's thicker.
Is it?
Yeah.
But I'm spinning at the same gauge
Yeah.
that I have been.
I think you also have more loft in yours.
Yeah. It's been pretty lofty. I keep on telling myself that I need to figure out a good way to give you guys a closer look at our bobbins.
We got to figure out the second camera setup.
Yeah.
We're not, you know, YouTube pros.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
There we go. You're still going to have to stall for a bit, though,
Okay.
because I
What?
didn't have an opportunity to look up
Oh.
a joke.
Oh, so I really have to stall.
Yeah. I mean, I find them usually quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm ruining the illusion here because I do cheat. I am not.
Yeah, but you adapt
endless
them so
font.
well. You don't have a endless memory of dad jokes in your brain at all times? I think you just normally slip into them at home.
Well, yes. I mean, there is. I do have dead responses. That one's funny.
The "Hi, hungry, I'm dad," I think, gets an instant eye roll in our family.
I think they get some rage actually at this point.
Oh, some of them, yes.
Um,
Especially at thirsty.
okay. I don't know how much of a dad joke this is, but it's good for the season. Why was Dasher upset with Rudolph's last report card?
Why?
He went down in history.
That's a dad joke.
Yeah, but I can't deliver it in the way that I've delivered the stories. Those are the ones that
The
I like
stories
the best.
are the best.
Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye.